Good morning, class. How are you doing? What's new? Okay, let's start with our third English class, online class. And first of all, I would like to share with you the objective for this lesson. The objective for this lesson is to talk about the interrogative form of the second conditional. The last lessons, the last classes, we were talking about the affirmative and negative form. But today we are going to focus on the interrogative form, okay? So let's start with all the attitude, okay? We're going to review the uses or the use of the second conditional. Second conditional is used to talk about imaginary situations or events. These situations could happen in the present or in the future, okay? Remember that. Here I wrote some examples, but I used different colors to identify the features that we have to take into consideration when we make our sentence with the second conditional. Okay, so I have affirmative and negative sentence. We are going to review those structures. Okay, the example number one, I wrote with a red color the condition if. The condition if people were the verb in simple past. If people were responsible with the COVID-19, they would use. I wrote it with green because it is in our second clause. We are going to use the auxiliary would followed by the verb in its base form, okay? They would use a mouth cover. My sentence says, if people were responsible with the COVID-19, they would use a mouth cover. Okay, actually, um, this is true. Okay, this is an imaginary situation because people are not responsible about their actions. Okay, next, if high school students were in the school, they could share their experience about the COVID-19. Okay, the same thing I wrote with a red color, the condition if, with a red color, the verb in simple past, in my first clause, of course, and in my second clause, I wrote with a green color, the auxiliary could, and the verb in its base form, could share their experience about the COVID-19. Good. The next example, if my father had a Mustang car, he could go anywhere easily. My next example, if my parents had a new house, oh, would be great. We wouldn't live here, right? If my parents had a new house, we wouldn't live here in Oaxaca, probably in New York, Dubai, or in another continent. Could be this is not true, but um, is my imaginary situation in the future. Okay, good. If someone found the COVID-19 cure, people wouldn't be worried. That is the situation, at the current situation, about the COVID-19. Okay, continue. Now we are going to identify the interrogative form. I wrote a diagram. I made a diagram to identify the structure or the features that we have to take into consideration when we want to make our question with the second conditional, okay? First, we need the interrogative pronoun, After that, I'm going to put the auxiliary would. The auxiliary would, After that, I'm going to use a subject. Subject, I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. After that, the condition if. After that, the subject, another subject, and after that, I will use the verb in past, the verb in simple past. Okay, here I have some examples but I use the structure that I have on the top, right? What would you do? What would you do if your teacher assigned you 6 in English? This is bad. This is not good at all, right? What would you do if your teacher assigned you 6 in English? What would you do? If my teacher assigned me 6 in English, I would talk with him about my mistakes. Okay, my other questions. If you identify, I use different colors according to the diagram, right? You are going to use the diagram to create your sentence, your own sentence. Next example. What would you do if your mother punished you all weekend? What would you do? If my mother punished me all weekend, I wouldn't spend time with my friends. This is too bad, very bad, okay? Let's continue with other examples, more examples. What would you do if someone hid your school bag in the classroom? What would you do if someone hid your school bag in the classroom? If someone hid my school bag, I would tell it to the principal. Okay? This is a good answer. Good, very, very good answer. Another question. What would you do or what your father do if he lost his keys? What would your father is the subject, do if we're gonna follow the structure that I shared with you before, right? Lost his keys. If my father lost his keys, he would be worried, of course. Why not? He would be worried. Okay, the last example. What would your brother do if he failed his math exam? If my brother failed his math exam, he wouldn't have a chance to play with his friends. Okay, as you identify, this is not complicated. You just have to follow the structure that I shared before, this structure, and you are going to create your own questions. And after that, you will apply your knowledge about affirmative and negative sentence with the second conditional. This is going to be your task in the platform. You will solve some exercises focus on making questions, creating questions, and after that you will give a possible answer for each question. This is going to be your task in the platform. Okay, so that's all for today. Thanks for watching. See you next time.